down to your mat. Bring your knees to the mat and your forehead to the mat. And then bring your hips down towards your heels. If you have to choose forehead to the mat or hips towards your heels, always choose your forehead to the mat. And then right away you have a few choices. You can spread your knees wide, letting the belly fall down towards the mat. Or you can bring the knees together, creating a little shelf for the belly. Your arms can be reached out long in front of you with the palms facing down. Or if your knees are together, option to bring the arms by your side with the palms facing up. And then once you've chosen your child's pose today, just go ahead and start to settle in. Close the eyes. Start to turn your attention inward. Start to bring your focus to the mat and the few feet around you. Start to bring your attention especially to body and to breath. As we work through this practice today, you can set an intention for yourself, or if you'd like me to set an intention for you, I'd offer the intention of gratitude for your body. Being grateful for how your body is today and now, and grateful for your ability to move through this practice in whatever way is your own. Once you set your intention, you can turn your focus to the breath. Exhale all your air out. And then as you start to inhale, inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Continue with these breaths through the nose, cultivating your Ujjayi breath, your victorious breath. And really think about just creating a rustling noise in the back of your throat, both as you inhale and pull air into the lungs, and as you exhale and push air out the lungs and up the back of the throat. See whether you can keep this breath and continue to build heat within the body as we move through class today. If the breath is ever held or choppy, you can come back to this child's pose. When you're ready, gently come up to a tabletop position. Right away, be specific with body. Stack shoulders over wrists, stack hips over heels. Find a long neutral spine, so try not to let the belly dump down too much or arch too much, but just think about pulling the belly button in towards your spine, reaching the tailbone long behind you, and the crown of the head out long in front of you. Press into the hands. Once you have this tabletop foundation, we'll start to move through cat-cow, warming up the spine. The inhale takes you into cow, arch the back, look up, drop the belly. And the exhale brings you to cat. Round the spine, tuck the chin under, really reach your shoulder blades apart and that place in between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. And start to move through these on your own breath. Inhales take you back to cow. Exhales move you through a cat. And keep moving through a few of these on your own breath, starting to warm up the spine and use the breath to warm the rest of the body. Really be gracious and gentle as you move through class today. And then when you're ready, come on back to that neutral tabletop position. Feel the crown of the head reach long in front of you and the tailbone towards the back. We're just going to go through a little spinal balancing. So untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Bring that left knee in just an inch towards the center, not too much. And then we're just going to reach the right knee up. We're going to start working into the hips today. So let's just start to warm up those hip flexors. Keeping the right foot, knee bent, and the toes pointed. Try to keep equal weight in the hands. Keep reaching the crown of the head long. You're just lifting your knee up sort of in line with your hip or lower, being very gentle. And then bring that back to center, but just touch the inside of your leg. Don't let it touch the ground. And then reach it back and up, pointing the toes towards the ceiling. Now bring your nose towards your knee, round the spine, and try to keep the nose at the knee. Bring the knee back into center to touch the inside of the leg, and then bring it back up to the side again. We're just going to go through 3 of those. So let's use our breath here for a little flow to warm up the hip. Right now, your knee is bent and your toes are pointed. You're like a dog peeing on a hydrant. On the exhale, bring the knee to center to touch. Inhale, we lift the leg, little arch in the back, toes point up. Exhale, round the spine, nose to knee to nose. Inhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, the leg reaches up, dog peeing on hydrant, bring it to the side. Exhale, back to center. Last one like this. Inhale, the toes point up, little arch in the back. Exhale, knee to nose, and hold. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, reach the right toes all the way back, straighten the leg. Flex the foot this time, but try to keep the leg in line with the hip. So we don't want the leg higher than the hip, just straight line from your hip out towards your heel and the toes pointing down. Really flex that foot, engage the leg, help to warm the glute up. And then reach the left hand out in front of you. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Try to pull the belly into the spine. Breathe for 1, exhaling through the nose. Inhale through the nose, gazes down. Last breath in. Exhale, drop everything back to center. Shake it out a little bit, shake the right hand and the left. And then bring the hands back, 2 shoulders width distance apart, shoulders over wrists. Bring that right knee into center. And we're going to go through that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts like a dog peeing on a hydrant. Knee is bent, toes are pointed, and your knee's not up anywhere past your hip. It's just gently opening up to the side. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, bring it to center. Touch the inside of the knee, but don't bring it all the way down. And then lift the leg up, point the toes, reach it back. Exhale, bring the knee all the way to your nose. Round the spine. Inhale, bring it back to center and touch. Nice, holding the knee. Inhale, lift the left leg to the side, dog pees on hydrant. Exhale, bring it back down, touch the inside. Inhale to lift it back, knee is bent. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Bring that knee back to center to touch. And then we're going through 1 more. Press into the hands, inhale. Dog peeing on a hydrant. I really don't know a better name for this. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, point the toes, lift the knee. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Round the spine, press into the hands. Pull the shoulder blades apart. And then this time, reach the leg all the way back. Flex the foot. Once again, check that your heel is not higher than the butt or the hip. And you're squaring your hips to the mat. Then lift the right hand forward. Gazes down right in front of your fingertips. Just take 3 breaths here, spinal balancing. Try to suck the belly in towards the spine. Breathing through the nose. Last breath here. And then exhale, drop it all down to the mat. Bring the knees back to hips width distance, sort of shake the hips out to the left and the right. You're going to walk the hands just a few inches in front of where they are. Tuck the toes under. You can step the knees back a little if you like. Just lift the the knees an inch or so off the mat. Really take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Right away, take your dog for a walk. Make it a dynamic move here. You're bending the left knee and the right, shifting the weight side to side as you lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Press into both hands equally, fingers spread wide. And then after you've moved through a few of these dog walks, Start to clean it up. Take a peek forward at the hands. They're shoulders width distance apart, fingers spread wide. And your shoulders are way behind your wrists as your hips reach up. Those hips really pull the shoulders back. Your head is balancing sort of right between your biceps. And then taking a peek back at the feet. Feet are hips width distance, like an iPhone in between your toes. Your knees can be slightly bent if you like, or you can work to straighten them and reach the heels down towards the ground. Biggest thing is lifting that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Press the chest back towards the quads. Deep breath in. Exhale to stay. On the inhale, roll forward to a plank position. Exhale to hold. You're in a plank. Reach the tailbone back and the crown of the head forward. Heels are shifted forward over the balls of your feet. Shoulders are stacked over elbows, stacked over wrists. Broaden across the collarbones. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the chest and the chin. Stick your bum up. And then untuck the toes, drop the hips, coming up for baby cobra. Your chest lifts forward. Your hands are gently pressing onto the mat. You're pressing into the tops of your feet a lot, so much so maybe your knees reach up or lift up off the mat a little. And then squeeze the elbows in by your side. Inhale, the chest lifts. Exhale, drop the knees to the mat. Press on up, back to downward facing dog through bent knees. Find that down dog that you left, that cleaned up dog. And then we're going to just reach the tailbone up to the ceiling. On the inhale, look forward, lift the right leg up. Keep the hips square, point the toes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, you gently step that right foot through between your hands, drop the back knee. If the right foot doesn't get there on the step, you always can just walk it in between the hands. Back knee is down, back toes are untucked. Come on up to a low lunge. You're going to take your hands and you're going to interlace them and press them on the top of your knee. Press into, it's right above where your knee is, so right on top of your quad. You're just going to press your hands into it and push the knee sort of away from you. You're lifting the belly away from the quad. Suck the belly into the spine. Engage the arms, lift the chest. Take a few breaths here as we work into the hips. And then you can let go a little bit of that push on the knee, keeping the hands where they are, and start to drop the left hip down a little bit more. Feeling the opening in the left hip flexor, but just be gentle. Listen to what your body's telling you to do today. Deep breath in. Lift the chest, look up, maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, hands frame the foot. Pay attention here. We're going to tuck the back toes under and then lift the back knee. Press into the right foot and the left hand. Gently lift the right hand up. Gentle twist. Twisting from the belly. So if your left hip tucked under, try to pull the left hip back up, sort of in line with the right. And just try to keep the twist in the torso and the belly button. Breathe here. Exhale to stay. Now from here, we're going to move to a horizon lunge. So I want you to roll onto the left pinky toe edge of your foot and the right pinky toe edge of your foot, and then gently reach the hand towards the back. You'll feel your hips drop down a little. If this is too much, you can just stay in that twist. But we're really pressing into both pinky toe edges of our foot, especially the left, but also dropping that left hip down. Press into the left hand. Reach the hand towards the back. Look towards the back. And then exhale, gently come back to that low lunge. Your right hand comes up and around, all the way down to the mat to frame the foot. And then try to press into the hands a lot and step that right foot back to meet the left. And meet us all in downward facing dog. Wherever you are, we're back in down dog now. Moving on to the other side. The inhale takes the left leg up. Point the toes, deep breath in. Exhale, shift forward, knee towards nose. Press into the hands on the inhale, press away from the mat. Then exhale, gently step the left foot through, drop the back knee and untuck the toes. We're back here in low lunge, feel your hips pointing forward. On the inhale, we're gonna come up, but this time, whatever the normal way is, you would have interlaced your hands, interlace them in the other way, sort of the awkward way, and then press those into the top of the left quad. like you're pressing your quad muscle, just like you could slide it down towards your knee. You're pulling the belly away from the quad, lifting the chest, belly to spine. Take a breath in here. And then you can start to work into dropping that right hip down a little bit as you maybe release a little bit of pressure on that left leg. But keep engaging the arms, using them for stability. Breathing into that right hip flexor as you drop it towards the ground. You can always play with pressing into the left foot a little bit more to push yourself up, or dropping down a bit more into the right hip. One more inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, gently place the hands on the mat to frame the right foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Hands frame the foot, right hand stays on the mat. Gently twist with the left, twisting to the left, reaching the left hand up. And again, if your right hip is dropping under so that you can twist a lot, try to pull that right hip back in line with the left and twist from the belly button, even if it means you're not twisting all the way. Be gentle. Deep breath in. We're moving to that horizon lunge. We start to shift the weight into the right hand, onto the right pinky toe edge, left pinky toe edge. Left hand reaches back. That right hip is dropping down. You're feeling a big opening in the left butt cheek, left outside of your leg. Maybe a little IT band there. Press into the right hand. Lift up out of that arm. Breathe here. One more inhale. Press into the pinky toe edge of the feet. And then exhale, gently bring the left hand all the way up and over. Frame the foot. Press into the hands and step back to a plank. This time we'll go through a flow. You can stick with the knees, chest, and chin we did earlier, or for your flow, shift forward into plank so that shoulders are an inch past the wrists. Half push up down on the exhale, and then untuck the toes, tops of feet to the mat, upward facing dog. Chest reaches through. You're looking to the front, tops of the feet press into the mat, pull up on the kneecaps. You're dropping the hips to the ground. Exhale, we flip back over the toes. Everyone meets in downward facing dog. A lot of work in the hands there, so we're just going to drop down to our knees really quickly. Sit your hips back on your toes. And then we're just going to gently take the right hand across the body and circle the wrist as you do that. Yeah, so we were holding ourselves up for the horizon lunge, for the spinal balances, for the twist. Just give your wrists a little twist one way or the other. And then switch arms. Bring the left hand across the body. Loosen up the left wrist. Twist it one way, turn it one way, then the other. And then we're coming back to that downward facing dog where we were. Reach the hips up. Find the down dog that you know. We built 2 options for your flow so you know where to go in class. But you can always, of course, skip it. On the inhale, the right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, right knee to nose, hold it. Inhale, press into the hands, pull that quad up into your chest. Exhale, step the right foot through between the hands, open up to a warrior 2. Here we are in warrior 2. Press the left pinky toe edge of your foot into the mat. Take a peek forward at the right toes. Make sure that you can see them. And then make sure that your right knee is pointing in line with your right toes. So we want to get that direction the same, pointing to the front of the mat. Tuck that right butt cheek under a little bit. Sit low into the lower half of the body. And then we keep building in the upper half. Suck the belly into the spine. Reach the arms apart like I was pulling your wrists apart from you. Look over that front right fingertip. Inhale. Exhale to stay. We're going to flow here with the breath a little. On the inhale, we flip these palms to face up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to press into the front right leg, straighten the leg, lift the hands up overhead, press the palms. We're in a triangle here with the arms reaching up. Inhale to reach the arms up, press the palms. Exhale, sit down into the warrior 2. Inhale, flip the palms, press up, look up. Exhale, sit down to warrior 2. 2 more of those. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale to lift and press up. This time stay here. Turn your right toes into the side of the mat. We're here standing now. You can bring your hands down to your heart in a wide-legged standing position. So we're gonna do a quick horse here. Keep working on building strength around the hip flexors, the glutes, the thighs, the hamstrings, all that good stuff. Turn your heels in towards the inside of the mat. You can adjust your legs if you need a little bit. That's totally cool. Just find a place where your heels and your feet, toes, and your knees are pointing in the same direction. So if you need to adjust to get there, that's totally cool. Once you have that, hands come to your heart. You sit down and squat into this horse or goddess position. So once again, knees are pointing in the same direction as toes. Everybody's hip flexibility is different. So yours might be pointing more forward or more to the side, doesn't matter. What does matter is that you tuck the tailbone under, suck the belly into the spine, find a long spine. Imagine I was pulling your spine apart, I was pulling your tailbone down towards the ground and the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Proud chest here. Press the thumbs into the sternum. Sit a little lower. Option to lift the heels if you like. We're only going to do one horse or goddess, so breathe into this. Sit low. Find one focal point where you can balance and breathe. And then exhale, stand up. Drop the heels. Reach the arms out to your side. Turn the toes in to face the left side. So now the toes point forward, heels point back. And exhale, we're going to fold, but hold it in the half lift. So when you get halfway down, you're going to feel your hamstrings engage here. You can put a slight bend in the knees so that you're not locking them out. Fingertips reach to the side. Suck the belly into the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then exhale all the way down. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. You can wrap your hands around the outsides of your ankles, your heels. You can grab for your calves. Keeping a micro bend in the knees, not locking it out, but feeling that stretch in the hamstrings and the backside body. One more inhale. Exhale to stay. Inhale, gently bring the hands down to the mat. Start to crawl them to the front of the mat to a low lunge position. Frame that right foot once again. And this time we're going to move to wild thing. So pay attention here. You can either just move to a side plank and stay in the side plank, or we move to wild thing. First things first, everybody reach the right foot back like you're stepping to a side plank and reach the right hand up. Press into the left hand. You're on the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Then for those of you who want, just step the right foot behind you, reach for your toes, and then reach the hand up and over. It's almost like you're getting a big arch spine there, and you're literally reaching and pulling, rolling as you go. Lift the hips, press into both feet, reach that right hand forward, 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 and over. Squeeze the left butt cheek up, lift the right hip. And then exhale, we start to come back. Right hand comes down, you bring the right foot back around. And then go through a flow wherever you are, or skip it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Press the hands into the mat. Take a breath here. Exhale all your air out. Shh. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth. H-A. Let some heat go. Moving to the other side. Inhale takes the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Pull that quad up in towards your belly. And then exhale, step the left foot through. Come on up into warrior two on the other side. Right away, take a big quick body scan and notice what's different on this side than the other. And then just settle in. Build it from the ground up as we did on the other side. Look forward at the left toes and the left knee. Make sure they're pointing in a straight line forward and that you can see your toes over the knee. Working towards a right angle in that knee bend, but you may never get there, it doesn't matter. Press into the back pinky toe edge of the right foot, belly to spine. Reach the hands away from one another, drop the shoulders. Breathe here in warrior two. On the next inhale, flip the palms, straighten the left leg, reach up, Press the hands together. Exhale, you know what to do. Back down into warrior two. We're going through 4 more of those. Inhale to lift. Straighten the leg, press into the feet. Exhale, sit down into the warrior two. Inhale, we lift. Exhale to sit. Last one. Inhale, we lift. This time, once again, turn the left feet in towards the side. I'm just going to flip to face the camera here. You're facing the right side of your mat. This time you can shorten your stance a little bit. So bring it more to a medium-legged forward fold, right? Or sorry, a medium-legged stance. We're just going to do a little bit of malasana or garland pose here. So turn the heels in and the toes out. Find a place in this where you're going to feel like it's the right hips width distance for you. So you can always adjust as we go. Bring the hands to your heart center. Kind of squeeze your triceps in a little bit. We're going to start to bend the knees and drop down. You want your hips below your heart. So once you drop down, you can adjust your legs. Try to get your inside of your legs wrapped around your triceps. So your elbows, your triceps, your arms are inside of the legs. You're dropping your seat down towards the mat. Even if you can't drop your seat that far, just try to get your heart above your hips. So just imagine wherever your heart is, picture it. Just make sure it's above where those hips are. For those of you who are touching the inside of the legs to the outside of the arms, squeeze the legs into the arms and push the arms into the legs, using your own body as pressure to help open the hips, but squeezing at the same time so that you're strengthening. Press the thumbs into the sternum once more. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to stay. Inhale to lift. And then exhale, gently bring the hands down to the mat. You can slowly lift the hips up. Press into the feet as you do so. And find once again this forward fold. Turn your heels back in line so that your feet are parallel. And then if you can wrap your hands around your legs, maybe around your calves. Either interlace the fingers or touch them. And use your hands wrapped around your legs to bring your head closer to the ground, to bring your chest closer to the quads. If you don't want to interlace your hands, you can just reach each hand around the back of each leg like you're hugging your calf. So many options here, always options. Deep breath in. And then exhale, we are going to start to crawl the hands towards the front of the mat to frame that left foot. Moving to Wild Thing, Chamatkarasana on the other side. We start to move to side plank, press into the right hand, pick up the left foot and step it back to stack on the right, and then reach the left hand up. Once you're there, press into the right hand, bring those left toes behind you, and then reach the hand up and over, almost like you're painting a little rainbow with your body. The left toes are on the mat, the heel is lifted. You're pressing the right foot into the mat, lifting those hips up, thinking about arching the back, but really engaging everything as you do so. Press into the right hand. One more inhale. Exhale, we gently start to unwind. Everybody go through a flow or meet directly in downward facing dog. When you get to down dog, you know what to do. Exhale all your air out. Shh, make some noise. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, H-A. Gently lower the knees down to the mat. And this time you can bring your knees to touch or closer together. Create a shelf for the belly. Drop the hips to the back towards the heels. Bring the forehead to the mat. And again, always choose forehead to the mat over hips on heels. Reach the arms back by your sides with the palms facing up. Close your eyes. Focus on the breath. Check back in with body. How can you show it gratitude for all that it does for you in the practice and throughout the day? And then check back in with breath. Let Let this pose be restorative and also reinvigorating. Gently roll up to a seated position, stacking vertebrae upon vertebrae. The crown of the head is the last thing to rise. Press the hands into the tops of the quads. Close the eyes. Just take a deep breath in. See whether you can picture yourself shooting air in between your vertebrae, just like you could use your own breath to lengthen and strengthen your spine and all those muscles around your spinal column, right? That's what we're strengthening. And then gently shift over to your sits bones. Bring your tush to the center of the mat. You pull out all that good stuff from underneath it. Just gonna go for a little boat pose here. So to start, bring the knees in towards the chest. Feel yourself rooted into the mat on the sits bones. Toes point forward. Lots of options here. Do whatever's best for you. Reach the hands forward and then think about elongating the spine once again. Trying not to round into it, but instead, how can you lift your chest forward? Hands reach forward. Then, if you like, you can bring your heels off the mat, stay here, or you can bring the feet together, squeeze them together, squeeze the legs, and shift back onto your sits bones. For this boat pose, option to straighten the legs if you like. Wherever you are, continue to think about lengthening the spine, reaching the chest tall, almost like you could stack your chest on top of your knees. Obviously, we won't do that, but it's all about the direction, right? How can I inhale and bring my body in the direction that I want it? Keep breathing into this. If you're shaking, cool, shake it out. Keep breathing here for 5. Squeeze and lift for 4. You're holding it in boat for 3. The tide is rising for 2. The rising tide lifts all boats. Last one, breathe and lift. And then exhale, we're gently going to lower down to the mat for 5. Squeeze for 4. Tuck those upper abs in for 3, 2, 1. Lower down to the mat all the way. Nice. Right away, we're just going to move into a little stretch here. So reach that left leg up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to pull the right foot in so that the knee is up. So the left leg is reaching up, feet are flexed, and the right foot is pulled in. Now start to bend the left knee and cross the left ankle over the top of the right leg. You can stay here in this figure 4 with your foot grounded, or if you like, you can pull that right foot off the mat, reach it up towards the ceiling, and go for this figure 4 expression here. You're reaching your hands through and threading the needle. Left hand is through the hole in the figure 4. Right hand is around the outside of the right leg. Just keep pulling that quad in. See whether you can keep your lower back on the mat. And find the counter forces of pulling that right leg in towards you and pushing the left knee away with the strength of the left hip, the left glutes, pressing that left ankle into the right leg. Very active stretch here, right? We're strengthening and lengthening. Flex the right foot, flex the left, squeeze it in. Inhale, exhale, gently let it go, unwind. Bring that left foot down to the mat. Right leg reaches up to the ceiling, and then cross the right foot over. You can stay here, as I mentioned in the first one, and just gently push the right knee away from you, keeping the left foot grounded. Or thread the needle, reach the left foot up towards the ceiling, flex both feet, and find that same counter force where you're pressing the right ankle and knee away from you and pulling the left leg in. Few breaths here. Last breath. And then gently unwind. This time, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug and roll to the left and the right sides of the mat. Give your lower back a little massage. And then we're moving to one bridge pose here. We'll make it a good one. Drop the feet down to the mat, knees point up. Fingertips reach towards your heels with the palms facing down. We're going to pretend like we have a block or a ball in between our knees. And on the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up for bridge. We're going to walk our shoulder blades underneath our back. You can interlace your hands at the bottom of the mat. Press the pinky edge of the hands into the mat. And then also press into those legs, press into the feet, lifting the hips a little higher. And as you press into the feet, you may feel the chest lift a little closer to the chin. Want to keep those toes pointing forward. Keep the knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. Keep squeezing the glutes, but not just squeezing the glutes, also engaging the legs, pressing into the feet. Keep working here. We're breathing here for 5. Biggest breaths of the day for 4. Squeeze and lift for 3. What's really cool about this position is you can see your belly and your whole ribs and chest expand as you breathe. Last one. Gently, slowly lower the hips down towards the mat. And windshield wiper the knees to the left and the right very gently, just dropping the knees to the left at the same time and the right. And the left and the right. And the next time they're on the left side, just let them be there. Bring your hands out to the side in a T or a cactus. Then look over your right shoulder, trying to keep the right shoulder on the mat. Maybe your left leg is touching the ground and your right's hovering. Take a few breaths here. And then gently switch it on over to the other side. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Gently bring those knees back to center, look up. Give yourself another squeeze. And then bring the soles of your feet to touch. And reach your hands around the outsides of your feet. Your legs reach away from you. You're in butterfly here. Bound angle pose. Try to keep the lower back on the mat, even if it means that you only grab maybe for your ankles. That's totally cool too. Just reach the knees away from you. Press the lower back into the mat. Pull the feet in towards you, feeling a stretch in the inner groin. Then you can gently let that go and let that fall all the way down to the ground. For your final savasana, final rest, you can either lay in Supta Baddha Konasana, just with the soles of your feet touching one another and your knees falling open. You can bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Or you can come into final shavasana, reaching the legs out long in front of you, reaching the arms out by your side. Wherever you are, keep the eyes closed. Unclench the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Soften your gaze. Let the eyelids be heavy. Let the body start to breathe itself. One last time, come back to your intention. How can you show and feel gratitude towards this body for all that it does for you. And stay in the Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're ready to be walked out, gently reach the arms up overhead, keeping the eyes closed. Big morning stretch. And then roll to your left side with bent knees. Fetal position, resting your left ear on left bicep. Bring your hands down to the mat. Gently push yourself up into a seated position. Any seat will do. Bring the hands to feel your sits bones rooted on the mat or on a block, and then bring your hands, palms facing up to the tops of your knees. If you want to give a little energy, if you want to keep a little of what you built for yourself, palms face down. We're just going to take 3 breaths together to end the class. Big breaths. So exhale all your air out. Deep breath in through the nose. Through the nose, exhale. Deep breath in through the nose. Sip a little more at the top and hold it. Open the mouth, HA. Blink the eyes open, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Inhale, press the palms. Exhale, hands come down to your heart.